Hello friends, welcome to this online series of lectures on operations research. In this lecture, we are going to introduce a new concept called primal and dual problems. So let's look into it. So first of all, we will introduce primal and dual problems, and then dual. What are the scenarios, what are the considerations, what are the rules we have to look for when we convert from primal to dual. Then we will look into one example which follows the rules for the primal to dual conversion. And finally, we will look into economic interpretation of the duality. So let's look into the introduction of primal problems. So what do you mean by primal problems? Now every linear programming problem, if you see here, if I have written here that for corresponding to primal problem, there exists a dual problem which has the same meaning, right? The concept of primal problem is related to the dual problem. The original problem is called the primal problem, but the concepts which are related to the primal problem are seen in the dual problem, and they are closely related. Primal problem and dual problems are closely related. It means that the solutions you get from primal and dual problem is same only, right? But the interpretation is a bit different. So here is an example formulation of primal to dual. The left hand side is the primal problem, where maximization of z, that is the objective function max z, is equal to sigma cj xj, right? This is the objective function subject to the constraints sigma aij xj less than equal to bi. So what is this? This is the constraint, right? And again the non-negativity constraint is also there. Xj is greater than equal to 0, which is non-negativity constraint. When you convert this primal problem to dual problem, it becomes minimize w is equal to sigma bi yi from I equal to 1 to m, subject to the constraints sigma aij yi greater than equal to cj for j is equal to 1 to n, and for I equal to 1 to m for yi greater than equal to 0 for non-negativity. If you carefully see here, the cj, which was in the as the coefficient in the objective function, become the RHS of the constraint. In the same fashion, this RHS from the primal problem became the coefficient in the objective function of the dual problem. So let's look into the applications of the dual problem. What are the application? Where can you apply this concept of dual problem? So first of all, whenever you have large number of constraints and very small number of variables in the primal problem, you can easily convert this primal problem into a dual problem and can solve, because the solution of primal and dual is equal, right? Second application is the management can take the future decisions based on this dual problem, because the solutions are equal, so that the interpretation is a bit different. But when you have the same solution, you can easily apply the dual conversion, and then you can decide further. Management can easily decide on the decisions that they have to take for the company, right? And finally, whenever the initial feasible, like you can say the solution is infeasible for the primal problem, you can easily convert it into a dual problem and solve the problem, so that you can get the solution. And these are, in this slide I have shown summary of the conversion rules from primal to dual. Whenever you are converting from primal to dual, you have to take care of these scenarios, or you can say the considerations. First of all, the problem of maximization becomes minimization, right? If the primal problem is of maximization, the minimization is of the dual problem is of minimization. Number of variables become number of constraints in dual. Same vice versa, number of constraints in primal become number of variables in dual. Then the values of objective functions, or you can see the coefficients of objective functions, become the RHS values in the dual. In the same way, RHS values of the primal problem became the objective function values in the dual. Clear? Coefficient matrix become the transpose, right? Less than or greater than equal to variable become greater than equal to constraint. In the same way, greater than equal to constraint, or sorry, less than equal to variable become less than equal to constraint. Same way, greater than equal to constraint become less than equal to variable, and less than equal to constraint become greater than equal to variable. When you have unrestricted variable in the primal problem, it is converted into equation in the constraint. In the same way, when the constraint is of equation, right, it becomes the unrestricted variables. Mean it is vice versa from primal to dual. It is literally the other side of the coin if you talk about. And also the solution when you derive from primal and dual is equal. Now let's look into an example of primal to dual conversion. On the left hand side, the primal standard form is given where maximize z is equal to 3x1 plus 17x2 plus 9x3. Subject to constraints minus x1 plus x2 minus x3 less than equal to minus 3. That is the first constraint. Second constraint is minus 3x1 plus 2x2 less than equal to 1. That is the second constraint. And there is non-negativity constraint is also that x1, x2 and x3 are greater than equal to 0. Right? When you convert this into a dual problem, the maximization problem becomes minimization problem. So the variables are w1 to w2, right? So here the constraints are, if you see 3, 17 and 9 is the coefficient in objective function. These become the RHS in the dual, 3, 17 and 9. Less than equal to sign becomes greater than equal to sign. Clear? And here if you see the dual minus 3 and 1, the coefficient, where do these come from? They come from the constraint minus 3 and 1. We have written here. And w1 and w2 are the dual variables. Clear? Now what about this one? Minus w1 and minus 3w2. Right here w1. So minus w1 minus 3w2. Here in the second constraint, w1 plus 2w2 greater than equal to 70. In the same with the final one, minus w1, that is this one, is greater than equal to 9. And where do this 9 come from? It is from the coefficient of the objective function, the third one. Right? And obviously w1 and w2 are greater than equal to 0. So this equation is this standard form is related to the primal problem, and this one is from the dual problem. So this is the conversion from primal to dual. Let's look into another example. Here maximize z is equal to 3x1 plus 5x2 is the primal problem. Subject to x1 less than equal to 4, and accordingly these constraints are given. Now in dual problem, when you are converting, here 4, 12, 18 are the RHS, right? They are incorporated into objective functions. Clear? And this objective function values are converted into the RHS. And maximization problem becomes minimization problem. Again, less than equal to sign becomes greater than equal to sign. Also, if you see the y1 and y2 are and y3 are the dual variables of primal. Now, it is the coefficient here is 1. So y1 plus 3y3 is greater than equal to 3. Clear? Same way, 2y2, right, plus 2y3 is greater than equal to 5. And y1, y2 and y3 are greater than equal to 0. Clear? In the same way, we can calculate from primal to the dual. Now how do you interpret economically the duality? So first of all, you can say whenever you are providing any service and whenever you are using the resources in a company, right, what a company tries to do, company tries to maximize the profit. That is the primary goal, or you can say the primal problem. Now if you talk about the dual problem, right, whatever the unit resource which is utilized, the maximum profit has to be accrued out of this unit resource to be utilized. That is the duality concern, right? That is the other way, other side of the primal problem. Let's look into an example. A manufacturer makes two products, X1 and X2, right? Out of two resources A and B, these are two resources. A is the material, raw material constraint. B is the hours, labor hours. That is also a constraint for the product X1 and X2, right? Here the constraint are given. The maximum resource for A is 60 kg, which is the raw material, and for B it is 96 hours, which is the labor hours. Now at most from X1 he can get 40 rupees, and for X2 it is 35 rupees. When we convert it into a primal problem standard form, maximize Z is equal to 40x1 plus 35x2, and it is subjected to constraints 2x1 plus 3x2 less than equal to 60, which is this constraint, right, the first one, and 4x1 plus 3x2 less than equal to 96, that is this one. Clear? So x1 and x2 are greater than or equal to 0, which is the non-negativity constraint. When you solve this problem, what you get x1, the number of products is equal to 18 units, and for x2 is equal to 8 units. And maximum profit can be derived with the utilization of the resource is 1000 rupees. Now let's look into the dual problem. When we convert this into a dual, now y1 and y2 are the two variables which are the dual variables. What do you interpret them? You interpret them as the rental, right? Rent derived from per kg of raw material and per hour of the labor. Remember this. When you convert into dual variable, it becomes the rent. And what the manufacturer want to do, it wants to minimize the rent. When it gives these resources as a rent, the manufacturer wants to minimize the rent, right? So that is the concept of dual problem. When you convert it, it becomes minimize z equal to 60y1 plus 96y2 subject to constraints 2y1 plus 4y2 greater than or equal to 40. Now where do these 60 and 96 come from? They come from the RHS values, and 40 and 35 become the RHS. Clear? Other way around. So these are the constraints in terms of dual problem. So when you solve this problem with the help of simplex method, you will get minimum rent of 10 by 3 units for y1 and 25 by 3 units of y2. What is this y2? y2 is nothing but the per hour labor, that is per hour labor units, which is 25 by 3. In the same way, the rent is 10 by 3 per kg of the raw material, and obviously the minimum rent is 1000 rupees. That is what the manufacturer can get. Now again, finally we can summarize this interpretation as whatever the objective functions we got from primal problem, that is 1000 rupees as a maximum profit, and 1000 rupees in the dual problem, right, that is the minimum rent, they are both equal. Clear? What do you mean by that? The maximum profit that can be derived from the resource is 1000 rupees. But when the manufacturer is renting, the minimum rent that is derived is 1000 rupees with the optimum utilization of per unit resources, whatever the resource is available. Clear? Or in other way, you can interpret also that additional 1 kg of raw material will increase the profit by 10 by 3 unit rise. In the same way, 1 unit increase in labor hours will increase the profit by 25 by 3 units. So that is how you interpret the dual problem. So initially what we did, we tried to understand the concept of primal problem. Primal problem can be easily interpreted by converted into dual problem, right? Dual problem also has the similar scenario, but similar framework of variables, but you can interpret as, let's say for example, when the primal problem is of maximizing the profit, in the same way in the dual problem, what the manufacturer wants to do, it will try to minimize the rent available from the resources, maximum utilization of resources with the minimum rent to be paid. In both the cases, you might have seen that you will get the same answer of objective function, which is 1000 rupees, right? It can be also be interpreted as when 1 unit of rental per kg of raw material will increase the profit, whatever the amount we got from the dual problem. In the same way with the labor hour as well, 1 unit of labor hour will increase the profit by so and so unit, which we got as an answer from the dual problem. So in this way, also like when you have more number of constraints in the primal problem, you can easily convert them into a dual problem and can easily solve, because the answer you get from the dual problem is same as the primal problem. So that is all about the introduction of primal problem. We also solved the example of primal and dual problem, and finally we looked into the economic interpretation of the duality. Thank you.